I always recommend finding a producer that you love and exploring the style of wine that they make. And so we'll start with the Cremant de Bourgogne. So Burgundy is the region I mentioned. Beaujolais is a small section within Burgundy. And we call any sparkling wine that comes from France, that's from outside of Champagne, Cremant. And then we use the term of the region. So you can imagine Cremant de Bourgogne. Cremant is the style of wine from Burgundy. And in our case, you know, it's possible that the grapes only come from the region of Beaujolais. It doesn't necessarily say that on the label. I guess it gives the flexibility to the winemaker to be able to buy grapes or to blend grapes from other parts of Burgundy. So it's like the Burgundy region is the biggest. And Cremant is actually really interesting, and I think one of the most exciting things that is coming in the world of bubbly for me, because it's so affordable, but it has the qualities of champagne. So in order to be called Cremant, you must do the same method of making the sparkling wine sparkle inside of the bottle, which is called method champenois, the traditional method. That means we take grape juice, ferment it with yeast into alcohol, put that wine in either a tank or a stainless steel, or a barrel, and then once we have a base wine, we add the wine to a bottle, in this case just like this. We add a little bit of yeast and a small amount of sugar and close the bottle off with a crown cap or what looks like a soda pop top. And the wine re-ferments in the bottle the second time. So it gives you this yeasty quality or this toasted brioche, and it's really nice. And so exact same thing that's happening in Champagne. The other thing that's similar to Champagne, but for a fraction of the price of this wine, is it's 100% Chardonnay, which is the noble grape that is used to make Champagne. So what we have is a really fine mousse, meaning like the bubbles are small and tight and precise. And then we have the Chardonnay characteristics. If you know Chardonnay from drinking white wine, you'll find apples and pear and orchard fruit. And often Chardonnay is such a good wine because it takes on whatever the winemaker does. It's almost like a blank canvas. So if it grows on chalk, it tastes chalky. If it grows, or if a winemaker puts it in oak, it'll taste like vanilla and cinnamon and nutmeg, or like what the characteristics you get from a barrel. So you can imagine a really great, precise, clean style of Chardonnay when it's made into sparkling. And so we'll take a sip. Oh my God, so good. We often use like things that feel sweet or feel like almost brunchy, right? Like brioche or croissants or baked bread as characteristics or descriptors for Champagne. And the reason is, or Cremant even, the reason is, imagine that yeast that I told you I put in the bottle. After they do their job of eating the sugar, they start breaking down and they have no more food, if you will. So when they break down, it's called autolysis. It's the gradual breakdown of the yeast cells, and that yeasty quality gets reincorporated into the wine. So in this case, Cremant, it's a minimum aging of 9 months sur lie, which means that wine rested with those spent yeast cells. You can call them dead yeast cells, but I think spent sounds better. So spent yeast starting to break down in the bottle. After 9 months, the producer is allowed to do what we call disgorgement, which would be you freeze the neck of the bottle, expel the spent yeast, and then maybe quickly add a little bit more wine just to finish the wine, and then add a cork with a cage so that it stays bubbly.